So hence, obviously, they are also a little bit ungendered in some ways, obviously, but not fully. But I mean, I love hands. I mean, I love hands. I mean, I love.
I mean, it's gonna take nothing for us to come here. It takes like, I think Holland is like 9 days behind what's going on in Italy, but it's gonna happen. It takes like, I think Holland is like 9 days behind what's going on in Italy, but it's gonna happen.
And the problem that also was
I mean, I'm just wondering, like, also, whether I'm gonna stay stuck here or not. Also, whether I'm gonna stay stuck here.
Also, whether I'm gonna stay stuck here. Also, whether I'm gonna stay stuck here.
I guess this is where like all these realms of like religion, club culture, ritual, and sculptures, like body movement sculpture becoming sculpture object, or by decreasing in movement, so becoming more and more static somehow. Well, I mean, this is probably where all of this is slowly kind of converging in this research. I don't want to portray like outward movement, but only inward movement, so like resting things, and the exhibition is called Rest, actually. They mostly have like underwear. It's tricky, there are so many questions that come, you know, like in some ways I feel like I feel more entitled in portraying male body than female body. It does also honestly come more natural to me, like I'm gay, like I know, I guess like the touch of the male body is a bit more familiar to me somehow, and like, but on the other hand I feel like it's tricky, you know, when I would portray only male body, and also, but of course also then other question comes, like, what is to portray one gender or another, what is gender, and all this, there are so many questions that they come into question. So like, I think I would love to be able to sort of like, maybe through the practice kind of reach to a point in which like the gender is not a question anymore, like, and it's like, but of course it will always be, on the other hand, especially when you make objects, because like it kind of crystallize into a form, so it's even more, like I think you lose the fluidity of things somehow. So like all these questions, they're still open, and I'm like, I think I'm just aiming to figure it out while doing it. In order to prove the existence of the virtual in reality, is making a parallel with thermodynamics, because in thermodynamics there is this state, there is a tendency of systems to balance themselves. So if they balance themselves, it means that they are kind of drawn, or they tend to a point which must exist and must be structured already, because otherwise there is no reason why they would tend to that.
Okay.
So it's trying to prove actually the existence of the virtual also and the actual in this term. So why we tend, or how do we tend to the virtual?
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting perhaps to put it in relationship with sculpting, because again it's a little bit this, how the idea gets formed while the process is going on. So I think there is the actual and the virtual, which is like perhaps the potential of it, like, and how these two kind of appear within the matter, of the clay.